All right, February is National Pet Dental Health Month. Now, we often talk about diet and exercise for our fur babies, but you can't forget about those chompers.
Just like humans, dogs need regular dental cleaning, both at home and in the doctor's office. Joining us live to tell us more about the importance of pet dental care is Dr. Kimberly Dolphin with Wellhaven Pet Health in downtown Vancouver. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks
Of
for
course.
joining us. This is an important one. I think most pet owners will tell you they're often reminded of dental health when they get a nice whiff of that dog breath or cat breath. How often should dogs or cats be getting a dental cleaning?
Well, it kind of depends on the dog or the cat age, but in general, every year under anesthesia. And that whiff that you're getting from their mouth is bacteria. So that's a sign, an odor sign that you should definitely get that done. Some bigger dogs like big labs and pit bulls and German shepherds can wait till the age of 2 to start, but we generally start at age 1 and then every year thereafter.
Yeah, that smell is not just, oh, get it fixed because it smells bad.
Right.
There's a real reason behind it.
Right.
Getting
It's a sign of infection. Yeah.
So getting a dental cleaning under anesthesia, I mean, is that how you typically go about these procedures? You know, I know with cats, obviously, even more reluctant than dogs to go about that dental cleaning.
Yes, even the best lab who will sit there and be really good, you can't really examine the teeth way in the back, and nor can you take dental x-rays safely with that expensive sensor in there that they could chomp. So they really need to be under full general anesthesia, fully asleep and unconscious for us to do everything we want to do. It's not just cleaning the teeth, it's also polishing the teeth, but doing a full oral exam where we chart everything in the mouth, looking for missing teeth or loose teeth or pockets under the gum line, just like our dentist does for us. And then full mouth x-rays to see what's going on around the roots and below the gum line. And it's only with all of that information that we can make an informed plan about what to do or what not to do.
I see. That's where you're sometimes, catching those issues that if you catch them early, not that big of a deal. If you leave it, could become a really major problem for your pet.
Sure.
Correct. It could lead to pain, first of all, and a need for multiple extractions where you may be able to head off extractions if you do regular dental cleanings.
So what about these cleanings called non-anesthetic awake dental cleanings? I've seen that term before, but what exactly does that mean?
That means that it's usually done by non-veterinary professionals, although there are some veterinary professionals that advertise that as well. And it means no sedation or anesthesia. And again, it's probably a good lab. Some groomers offer this, and they clean the teeth as best they can. But again, they don't do x-rays, they don't do an oral charting of the mouth, and they probably don't polish. I don't know that for sure.
I mean, so is there any significant warnings, against looking into that? Or is it just not as thorough as a job that you do at a vet?
It's just not as thorough. And in fact, there are some dangers with that because using really sharp instruments that we use to scale the teeth, whether they use a tool called a hand scaler or one of the moving ultrasonic scalers, there have been some instances of causing severe trauma to the tongue, the lips, the hair, and in some cases, some cats have had to be euthanized because the damage was so great from this instrument.
So definitely
very dangerous.
something to do your research on and chat with your vet before you go that route. So what about some other stuff at home? There are all kinds of different pet-friendly, toothpastes and those little finger brushes so that you can clean your pet's teeth in between some of those bigger vet cleanings.
Yes, well, of course, anesthetic dental cleaning is the most effective way and active way of getting the teeth clean and keeping the gums healthy. And there's one more active way of doing that at home, which is brushing. And a lot of people say, I'm never going to be able to brush my dog's or cat's teeth. But there are some hints that can help you with that. One is to get a toothpaste flavor that they love. In general, cats are the only ones who like the fish and salmon and mackerel. Dogs don't like those. But dogs like beef and chicken, and they really have a sweet tooth. So the vanilla mint and the peanut butter toothpaste are big sellers with dogs. And also, yeah. And also, you don't have to brush the insides of the teeth. Their mouth is configured very different than ours, and where the salivary glands are and where tartar builds up, it's only the outside that you have to clean. Once you start prying their mouth open, they hate that. They fight you every step of the way. But if you leave their mouth closed and just do the outsides, they tend to tolerate it much better.
Oh, that's a good
Interesting. I
tip.
did not know that, but I will say the flavored toothpastes definitely help. I had a tube of chicken flavored toothpaste for my dog Samwise, and he got into his treat drawer one time, ate the whole tube. So he loved it. His breath was fresh for about a day.
That's great. And anybody who can brush a cat's teeth that calmly, like they did in that video, I want to see that live.
Share your secret.
I know.
It can happen, but I always warn people when you do use the little finger brushes, which are really helpful on little dogs and cats, you do have to be careful they don't bite you, especially cats.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Good warning.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Doffen, really appreciate your time. A good emphasis on pet dental care tips. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
You do the same.
Bye.
And if your fur baby's teeth need to be looked at, Wellhaven does have several clinics across our area. Just go to wellhaven.com to learn more. I feel like when